Do you guys know what do you think of when you hear the words emotional intelligence, or you think, I want my kid to be really emotionally smart. I want them to have smarts to be able to maybe work well with other people. So, good social skills. I want them to make healthy friendships. I want my kids to be able to assess whether a situation is safe for them or unsafe by reading the situation, reading other people who they're going to meet. I think of EQ as being smooth, like having the flexibility to hang out with lots of different kinds of people. I think of it as being able to communicate my needs clearly. I think of it as being able to listen and hold space for others. That's a part of being emotionally intelligent. So people often describe it as, or we think of it as having good empathy, good social skills, the ability to communicate well with others, and all of that is true. And then there is some other truth here, which is being emotionally intelligent is about having a soft skill set that has to do more with energy and connection and intuition and a certain level of comfort in being in your own body and being in your own emotions. So, today I'm going to be offering you two ways to help your kids develop those soft skills through the ways that you parent them. Okay? So, we're going to begin with number one, the first way that you can build these skills in your kiddos to help them become the most emotionally adept and in tune versions of themselves, the most self responsible versions of themselves. Starting with the first way is to make feelings normal. So, talk with your kids about feelings. Let this be a normal topic of conversation around the dinner table when you've got them in the car and conversation is flowing. Allow conversations about emotions. Now, here's a caveat. A lot of people make this mistake. They think they've heard that, you may have read that in books that this is, teaching kids about emotions is really important. But what parents do, because as adults, many of us don't have that skill set. We don't know how to be present with our own emotions. So what we do to avoid our own discomfort is we kind of just want to ask our kids how they're feeling. And then we want to analyze their feelings. And we want to talk to them about how to make them feel something else other than what they feel, especially if what they're feeling is unsavory, especially if they're angry or they're sad or they're being stubborn and stuck to something and they're persistent and they can't let it go. And we don't like that. And we want to change who they're being by telling them to feel something different. Then that's because of our own discomfort. And it doesn't work. It does not work to create emotional intelligence or responsibility in your children because it's not being that as the parent. And so when I say make feelings normal, make talking about feelings normal and above board in your house, what I mean by that is share with your children about how you handle feelings, about when you're having feelings and it's obvious and you know that they can smell it and they can see it. Let that come out. So I caution you with this teaching, with this training. It comes with a little bit of a cautionary tale. And the cautionary tale is another mistake that parents make. And I've been a clinician for a long time, and expert in emotions for a long time, helping other people overcome overwhelm and relationship conflict and things like this. There's a thing that people do where they vent about their emotions. And I don't want you to hear me wrong. I want you to hear me right when I say share your feelings, about your feelings, how you handle feelings with your children. Don't be afraid to do that. Do that, but do not vent to your children about your strong feelings. Don't vent to your children about why you're so angry at their father. Don't vent to your children about other things that you're upset about as a way to dump it at their feet. Don't do that. I know you're smart enough to know not to do that, but I want you to hear me correctly. When I say normalize feelings in your house, oh, it looks like you're feeling upset. Oh, I'm feeling so frustrated right now. You're basically just naming what's going on, or you're narrating it. And with my clients, this is a really cool skill that I teach them how to do in different situations and how to leverage this, this like normalizing feelings into a sense of calm and peace at home for their families. But for the sake of this training, let's just leave it at that. Normalize feelings in your house. Don't vent about your feelings. But, and the other piece, don't make this mistake is don't just shine a big bright spotlight on your kids and put them on the spot about talking about their feelings. And people make this mistake all the time. And I know it comes from a good intention. You know, you read it in a book somewhere and you have a 5-year-old boy and you have some idea that he should be able to tell you what he's feeling. And that's just usually way off the mark for 5-year-old boys. Some highly sensitive kids will be different. You can have that conversation with them. However, I would not, as a rule of thumb, expect for a young boy to be able to tell you, or a grown man to be able, in some cases, to tell you what he's feeling and to know what that is. As women, to keep it equal and fair here, we often also get caught up in an emotion and don't even know we're having it. It's a very human experience. So you want to normalize when you're having feelings. You can share that with your kids. You want to get more comfortable in your own feelings so your kids aren't scared of having emotions. Okay. We know we want to neutralize emotions. They're not bad or good. They just are. They happen. They're energy expressing itself. It never helps them when you bury your feelings thinking that you're sparing them from pain. So, while we don't want to go sharing with our kids about our trauma or the difficulties in marriage or adult things that they can't understand because we know that doesn't help them. It also doesn't help them to bury or hide a feeling because that creates confusion for them. They already feel it or they pick up on it. They see it or they feel it. And they know something's happening, but they see you hiding that. You know what that teaches kids is it's not safe to acknowledge our feelings. So be careful and don't make that mistake. Much better to say, to own it and say something's going on for me, and it's not about you. Okay, makes sense? They're going to learn how to navigate through their emotions by watching you. There is one place we all learn how to process our emotions. Then there's one place we all learn what is it to be in a relationship. And there's one place we all learn about feelings, and that is at home as a child in our primary relationship with our parents. There is no other place we can learn it. That is the imprint that creates the foundation for our emotional health for a lifetime. And that also means our relationships, okay? The second way to raise the emotional intelligence in your kids, you guys, is to teach them about, I'm calling it empathy for the sake of this training. It's so much more than that, but teach them about how to tune into people, how to connect with people, how to relate to people who are alike and different from themselves. Teach them about empathy by empathizing with them. Sounds obvious, right? Some of you are going to hear this and go like, yeah, no duh, I already knew that. But are you empathizing with your kid? Or are you just trying to change the way they feel or trying to convince them to not be so upset or trying to prevent their upset? So true empathy is allowing the other person to feel whatever they feel. So as a mom, I'm allowing my daughters to feel whatever they feel. I'm allowing them to have meltdowns, to have to have frustration, to be overwhelmed. I'm allowing it all because it's a natural human emotion. I'm not trying to shut that down. If I am trying to shut it down, it's because I don't know what to do with my own discomfort and I'm feeling overwhelmed. Okay. So to raise their EQ, we want to teach them about how to connect and how to empathize, which is really a way of saying how to have a really strong container, enough capacity to tolerate someone else having a feeling around us without it crashing us or without merging with that other person. Do you know what that means when I say that? Merging with another person means I'm going to join you in your mood. So you can teach them about this by doing it with them, not talking to them about it. Not that. Kids learn by the feeling. So if I am going to teach my kids about empathy, I'm going to practice empathizing with them. I'm going to connect with them. I'm going to honor what they're feeling. I'm not going to question it or try to convince them not to feel it or shut it down or judge them for it. I'm not going to do those things. I'm going to practice holding space for what they feel. Right? Therein lies the journey of all parenting, which is about emotional regulation. Making sense? So, to recap, we can increase empathy by empathizing with our kids. We can teach them how to do it. We can also teach them about how to navigate emotions by sharing how we do that with them. That is a talking about it thing. That is a naming, acknowledging thing. And that means you got to know how to do it for yourself. So in case you haven't caught on, you can't do these things for your kids with your kids unless you have some kind of EQ for yourself. And that means to know and understand what you're feeling, to know what to do with it, to how to process through those emotions efficiently, to get to the other side, to not get stuck in quicksand of the overwhelm, frustration, anger, blame, and then go into blame, resentment, all these things. To not run and hide and avoid your emotions. We avoid things that make us feel uncomfortable, and that goes for feelings inside of our body too. So if you are a type of person to kind of hide from or avoid or numb out to your feelings, then your children will learn the same pattern. And if you don't want the past to repeat itself, then you're the one who goes first and you're the one who learns the new skills, the emotional intelligence, right? So that means you likely resolving what is stuck and in the way that is creating these patterns. And that's something we can discover together. If you want some help on that, then I offer a free clarity call, free consultation. You are welcome to get on my calendar, book that with me now, and we can find out what are you getting stuck in that's creating frustration or overwhelm for you. For some of you, it's anxiety. The solution usually is the same. We have to get in and we have to rewire the brain for how it's working and processing things, meaning teaching you to focus in a better way that gives you the results you want, that gives you happy feelings in your body. And then we work on the emotional piece of really eliminating what is the underlying cause? What is root cause of these emotional patterns that kind of suck your energy dry? And maybe you see unhappiness in your home as well. Maybe it's reflected in the mirror of your kids to you. And you know that a piece of it is that you need to upgrade and overhaul some of the way that you process emotions and where you get stuck mentally. Get on my calendar. We'll work it out. We'll figure out a plan for you. And if I can help you, I'll absolutely explain to you how. And if not, I will send you to something that's going to serve you better. So there's nothing lost, only gain. Okay, so you can get on my calendar. I'll put the link in this post. Please don't wait. Don't wait. Sometimes I close my calendar because it gets full, and there are openings right now for tomorrow and for early next week. Don't wait. Go ahead and book. Also, every day that you're waiting is another day that you're spinning wheels trying to figure it out on your own, and you could just figure it out now. So open to the expert help. It's here for you. Can't wait to help you guys. I hope this serves. Write something in the comments about what you heard and what was helpful for you here today. And I'll see you next time.